The good life. Here are the learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to examine what is meant by the good life, identify how humans attempt to attain what is deemed to be a good life, and recognize the possibilities available to a human beings to attain the good life. Aristotle was a Greek philosopher and polymath during the classical period in ancient Greece. Taught by Plato, he was the founder of the Lyceum, the peripatetic school of philosophy, and the Aristotelian tradition. According to Aristotle, the good life is a happy life, as he believes happiness is an end in itself. In the Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle develops a theory of a good life, also known as Eudaemonia, for humans. Eudaemonia is perhaps the best translated as flourishing or living well and doing well. A soul, Aristotle says, is the actuality of a body that has life, where life means the capacity for self-sustenance, growth, and reproduction. According to Aristotle, the kind of life that people with a lot of money are able to have a happy and enjoyable life. If you say that someone is living in the good life, you mean that they are living in comfort and luxury problem or worries. It simply means that a good life can be described as a life that is self-satisfying and self-fulfilling. It characterized by personal joy, fulfillment, and enjoyment of a small pleasure of life. I believe that good life is to experience happiness in your everyday life. It is when you face life with enthusiasm and view. It is a big adventure that was meant to enjoy. Here are the pictures that shows good life. Aristotle argues that a good life for human beings would focus to a significant extent to contemplation and learning or acquiring the intellectual virtues. Aristotle gives us insight into an important component of the highest good. It must be something that is consistent with the maximization of our faculties as human beings. According to Aristotle, he declares that even human beings are potentialities who aspire for their actuality. Aristotle said that every human person aspires for an end. Human flourishing is a kind of contentment in knowing that one is getting the best out of life that adds happiness, joy, and pleasure, but it is also attain mastery over ourselves. The School of Athens painting is a masterpiece that usually represents an intellectual concept, the good life and the contradiction between a teacher and his student, the idealism of Plato and the realism of Aristotle. Plato was an Athenian philosopher during the classical period in ancient Greece, founder of the Platonist school of thought and the academy. The first institution of higher learning is the Western world. There are two worlds, the one that we are living in right now and an ideal world. Plato depicts wisdom as a way of life that decides happiness by controlling one's entire life, giving goodness to all aspects of one's life, much like a talent provides order to its materials. Plato supports Eudaemonistic ethics based on virtue. To put in another way, happiness is the highest goal of moral thought and behavior, and virtues are the necessary and dispositions to achieve it. Aristotle believed that knowledge comes from experience, that humans must have concrete evidence that has to be proved and supported by its ideas and claims. Aristotle supported the term empiricism and Eudaemonia, the pinnacle of happiness. Aristotle asserts that this physical world that are living in, change is a process that is inherent things that entities of the world start as potentialities and more toward actualities. Aristotle then extends this potentiality to actuality transformation to human beings. Materialistic, highly materialistic people believe that owning and buying things are necessary means to achieve important life goals, success, and desirability. Conclusion: Stoicism. Recognize what you can and cannot control. You determine your reaction to crisis. Ignore people dominated by their own negative emotions. Master yourself and aim to be virtuous. Learn to move on. In conclusion, the theory of utilitarianism is sound, logical, and consistent. Utilitarian ethics follows the law of the greatest happiness. According to this law, human beings seek to decrease suffering and maximize happiness. This also implies that actions that cause pain on human beings are morally wrong. The good life is a happy life. As he believes happiness is an end in itself. In the Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle develops a theory of a good life, also known as Eudaemonia, for humans. Eudaemonia is perhaps best translated as flourishing or living well and doing well. Aristotle argues that a good life for human beings would focus to a significant extent on contemplation and learning or acquiring the intellectual virtues. Aristotle said that every human person aspires for an end. Highly materialistic people believe that owning and buying things are necessary means to achieve important life goals such as happiness, success, and desirability.